Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to day 2 of plant chores. It is the next day, Wednesday, and I was just getting to my list. So if you missed the first video, it was the video before this one. So we ended up the video repotting the cacti. So I'm going to cross that off. And I'm gonna go ahead and cross out, I forgot to do that yesterday, pot up the moss pole water props because we only were able to do the one. So really the main thing on the list today is chopping up the pink princess and potting up the Marantas. And then I do need to take some time to water the anthurium shelf. And usually midweek I check the nursery area and water anyone that needs it. I also water like the bathroom plants, my other cabinets. So that takes like a half day to do some like plant care. So I'll probably do that off camera, but I may see if there's like any plants on that shelf that we can kind of move. And then I haven't gone back into my plant room to do anything else since since we put that shelf in there and hung the frames and everything. I haven't reorganized the poles or anything. And I haven't hung that lampshade. It's actually on that table right there. And I still have to sand some paint areas and like repaint that. So I'll probably do that in some of my own time today as well. I actually need to sort through the garage. My husband's actually off work today, so he's in there right now. I told him like I'm filming today, but maybe at some point today or tomorrow I can take like an hour to go through some of that stuff. Like our garage is a hot mess, you guys. I already started a couple months ago consolidating some plant pots and just random stuff that would be good to donate. And I need to do my closet again too. So hopefully I can make a huge donation pile in a few weeks and just take some stuff that I'm no longer using and someone else can have. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I think what we'll do is chop the pink princess first and get that one done. And then we'll do the Marantas, and then I think I'll move on to the anthurium shelf over there. Yes, my love. Want to say hi to the camera? Say hi. Say hi to Jai. I'm trying to think where I want to chop the pink princess at. I don't really want to bring it out here either because I did find some spider mites on it. I hosed it off and everything, so it should be fine, but I don't really want to bring it out and contaminate possibly another area. So maybe I should just bring it back into my plant room and work. I think I will. I'll just bring it into my plant room. I can just clean up the mess on the floor. But thank you so much for coming back to part 2, and I hope you enjoy today's video. This pink princess is so tall. I have it in the middle of my floor here. Here's another peek at the shelf. This is what we did in the first plant chores, this entire thing here. I love it so much. I did end up putting my mint right there for right now. I don't know if I'm gonna leave it there. And I just have a small little grow light, but it's crazy how much darker it is without that hanging light. I don't know, it's just, I'm not used to it, but I am going to rearrange this area a little bit because like I said, I have all my poles that I had chopped here in the corner, and I just need to get some plant stands to kind of like elevate some and lower some. I'm gonna look through what I have in the garage already, and then I might take a stop in TJ Maxx because that's where I've gotten a lot of my plant stands is TJ Maxx, and they're usually inexpensive and they're like pretty good quality. So I might stop there like later this week or something because I do have to run out to the grocery store at some point, so I could just make a trip there. But yeah, let me show you the pink princess that I'm talking about. Let me actually pan you around the other way. Do you see how tall she is? All the way down. And you can see where she started dropping some of her lower leaves because I accidentally filled it up too high. And this is what I noticed the other day. So she's a lot more pink up top because I had her directly under higher light because this plant has really good genetics. And so blasting a highly variegated plant, like if it's in the genetics, it's gonna come out more. And you can see all these have really good pink. That's the newest one. But how I noticed she had spider mites, and this happened last time she got some, is because she's highly variegated, you see the brown little dots, those are EFNs or extra floral nectaries. They normally aren't that pronounced on the variegated parts, and every time she gets spider mites, they become, you can see them. And then when I flip the leaf over, you could see some spider mites starting. So that's how I know this plant get spider mites is those EFNs. So if you see these on your pink princess that showed up out of nowhere, then there's a good chance there's some spider mites popping up. So it's crazy that she is not in cataphyll yet, because my other one at the window is in cataphyll. This is my other highly variegated one. So in cataphyll means she is producing, or she's producing a new leaf from a cataphyll now, cataphyll stage, instead of out of the petiole. And this is the newest leaf on this one. She's got some really good pink. I probably need to like repot and stake that one at some point. That's probably one of the questions I get asked a lot when I was chopping all of my poles, is why I cut the leaves away. And two reasons. One reason, well, actually 3 reasons. The first reason is I prefer to wet stick propagate and grow an entire new plant from just one little chunk. 2, like it doesn't take up as much space. So if I were to chop this up and save all the leaves, I'm either gonna have to plant them in individual cups, which is gonna take so much room. A lot of the times the original leaf on a plant will yellow off when you chop away the root system. Sometimes the plant just can't sustain maintaining that original leaf, so it'll yellow, and then that way the plant can focus on rooting and producing a new growth from the actual node. Not all plants do that, but I find pink princess especially will yellow off the original leaf. That's another reason. And then third is it kind of reduces pest in a way. So if I were to have, I don't know how many leaves are here, let's just say 20. If I had 20 individual cups of pink princess leaves, that's 20 individual cups that are more prone to pest, whereas I could just take all the wet sticks and put them into one propagation bin and keep them on top of moss under high humidity and light, and it's just one small container. And as they grow, I can just pluck the ones that are doing the best out and then pop them up, and then they'll grow into a new plant. I just find it easier to do wet stick propagations. I know sometimes it's sad chopping away the leaves, but they are leaves and they're not going to last forever, and it's easier on me and saves space, and I don't have to worry about pests with node propagations, and I just prefer to node propagate. I have a really high success rate, and that's just what I prefer to do. I don't know if this top section is going to make it, because I'm going to stick it directly in pon. I'm going to let the end callus probably for like an hour or so, because these guys bleed a little bit. They bleed like a pinky color, a pinky purple color. The vine is pretty thick, and I find they rot pretty easily. Like I propagated a ton of Monstera albo, but I don't have any issues with them rotting, but I have had pink princess nodes rot on me several times. So I feel like this plant overall is just a little bit more finicky with propagation. I'm gonna just go ahead and cut here, and then I'm probably gonna pluck a leaf or 2 away. Wow. Oh gosh, don't drip on the floor. Do you see how sappy the pink princess is? Like, look at its bleeding purple. Do you see that? And I'm wearing gloves today because I am really sensitive now to like plant tissue, especially when I'm cutting leaves and that sap gets on me. Okay, I'm gonna lay this on the ground or on the chair. I have a chair over here. I'm gonna run and grab a towel real quick because it's going to make a mess and stain my floor if I cut any more, so I'll be right back. That way, if it bleeds, it'll bleed on the towel and not my floor. So yeah, I'm just gonna chop all these nodes, just chop away. One, oh, it's already bleeding. It's like when you propagate so much, at least for me, it doesn't bother me chopping a big plant back like this. Especially when I have multiples, it doesn't faze me. I know it's taken me a while to grow this one to this size, but that's totally okay because I feel like my other one's gonna be this size in no time. I feel like my outlook has definitely changed since having a shop, and I am technically a grower. I grow everything out from my shop, so it's actually exciting for me to propagate and chop plants back because I can make so many baby plants for people out of this. I know pink princess aren't as sought after anymore because I feel like people, I know some people like them, but I know some people don't like pink princess anymore. And I also feel like since they are tissue cultured now, like the price has gone down drastically on a pink princess. But I still feel like people are on the hunt for like a more variegated specimen. And I do feel like the genetics on mine is pretty good. Whoa. I won't profit much by selling pink princess, but I still want to at least, you know, offer them if I can grow it and make a little something from it, then I feel like the time is worth it, because when I do wet stick node propagation, honestly, I don't really do anything with the plant. It just self-grows. You know, it takes time to grow a small plant from a node. And then once it actually grows, then I'll just pot it up and maintain it from there. Okay. Now we're down to the stick here. Down here is where the spacing gets a little bit more tight, so I'll just have to be careful how I prop this, but I'm just gonna cut right here. There's an auxiliary bud right below where I'm gonna chop. So I don't wanna chop into that, I'm just gonna chop above it and just cut this stick off. Oh, there it goes. And then again, just chopping between each node. The auxiliary bud is really hard to see on a dark stem, but you can see that little thing right there. That's where the new growth will come in. So I want to chop below. The next one below is right here. So I'm basically avoid cutting into here and avoiding cutting into here, if that makes sense. So I just chop between each of these little nodes. And then I could cut this again, this bottom piece here, but I'm gonna leave this as one section just because I don't like to do too little wet stick propagation. But this might activate in 2 spots. I've had that happen before. And then I'll probably have another couple of nodes here once I go to dump this out. I'll probably just use some of this pon to pot up my new one. I actually need to, I have so much dirty pon out in my garage. I need to flush and like sanitize that because my pon container is very low. I need to do that probably sometime this week too. So I already have all these wet sticks, and then yeah, I'll be chopping the leaves off all of these. Look at all those pink princess. I'm gonna have so many. And so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the leaf away. Wow, so many pink princess nodes, holy cow. And I still have the bottom little piece. Wow, there's 28 right here, and then I'll probably have another 2. So that's like 30 plants out of this. That's crazy. I have another pink princess too. I think I've shown you guys this one a couple of times. This one is more marbly. Do you see that? This was actually a big box store find, so it is like a tissue culture, but this one does grow very strangely. Like it'll produce these really small leaves randomly, like this here, and then it will produce like a decent marbly leaf. And I feel like the stem is a bit different. It's like, I don't know, I feel like the spacing is a lot more tighter on this one, but you can see where I've ripped away several leaves that just came in like really wonky. And you know, it's been under good conditions and everything. So I'm curious how this one's going to grow. So that's what that one looks like. I don't think my pink princesses were TC because my pink princesses I got in 2020. They were actually I have they're 2 separate genetics. One was a Facebook marketplace find back in the day, and then one I bought locally in my plant group. It was just a cutting, and I didn't know like what was gonna happen, but she told me the mother plant was like pretty variegated. And so both of my specimens actually are like pretty highly variegated, so I got really lucky. But mine they just grow differently than I feel like the tissue cultured ones. I don't know. I feel like mine never produce these like wonky leaves, whereas that one, and I've had another couple of tissue culture ones from the big box store, but they wouldn't grow right. I had cut the top of one to propagate, and then the growth that came in just was all small. That's why I'm kind of afraid to cut that one, because I don't want to jeopardize what's growing already. I don't know, to me they just act a little differently. And then I also have 2 red Andersons. It's from the same plant. This was the butt cut, the bottom cut. You can see where I had chopped, and that's the new growth that was coming in. And then this is this one I grew from a wet stick from this one. And I kept this one because the color was coming in so good too. So I'll probably do the same thing with these, with my pink princess. I'll probably grow them out and then eventually chop them back. I really love the color on the red Anderson, the pink tones. I have been tempted to even like, I don't know, I don't really care for the white knights as much. I have been tempted to get the pink, oh no, there's a white knight, a white princess, I think. I have been tempted by that one. And I have seen the quad tricolor white knight as well. But I like the tones on this one. I feel like this one has, I don't know, I think I'll always love the pink princess, but this one, if I had to pick, I love the light pink tones on this one too. And I feel like the leaf, I don't know, I love all the tones on that one. So yeah, I'm excited to grow the red Anderson out. Okay, so this is our top section. I want to let this callus, and then I might rinse it again. I don't see any more spider mites. It's actually really sticky. I had used horticultural oil. You know what also likes pink princess? Mealybugs. Because you know what they do? They hide down in the petiole, like way down in the sheath. So if you've been having a mealy issue and you're not sure where the source is, and you've check your like pink princess. It's so weird. Mealies like certain plants. It's so weird. And they'll come back to the same plant that had the earlier on infestation. Say you had mealies on a plant, you got rid of it, you haven't seen any mealies on it, and then randomly you'll see a mealy appear on it. You've like repotted it and everything, you've cleaned it, quarantined it, and months and months and months later, there'll be a mealy that will randomly appear on it. It's the weirdest thing. Mealies are just so weird. But you know what's gonna be so nice is to like, I feel like my moss pole plants not having actual moss, I feel like the only pest issue I would have to worry about would be like in the actual soil or on the plant leaves. I won't have to worry about the actual moss pole part too. But yeah, I don't see any more spider mites or anything, but I might rinse it off once that dries a bit. And I might just leave all the leaves because I really like these. I think if I pot it down like this into pond, I'm just gonna go directly in pond. Hopefully it roots up okay into semi-hydro. She's pretty. I do need to restake my other one here. This one, I haven't seen any pest on, any spider mites or anything. But yeah, look how big this one is. The one that's in cattaphil, like these leaves are pretty big. Compared to my hand, like that's a pretty big pink princess leaf. But I definitely need to get this one repotted and staked soon. It's definitely wobbly. This little thing is not going to work. It has a lot of algae just because it's in my window. I probably need to find like a better support for this, like a better, sturdier pot, and then I'll probably add like a green garden stake. I feel like they both, I don't know which one has like the better genetics, but I feel like this one, the stem is really pink on it. While we're waiting on the ends to callus, what I think I might do is just do some stuff off camera, and then once my ends callus, I'll come back on and we'll take care of the pink princess. I'd rather take care of that first before we move on to the Maranta. I'm back. I started talking and I'm like, my mic, I didn't turn my mic on. But good thing I caught it before I started filming. It's been about a good hour. I went ahead and prepped some stuff. So this is the propagation bin. It's just moss and perlite. And then I'm gonna add all the wet sticks in here and just cover them up like this. And yeah, I'm gonna toss all of them in here. I ended up having 31 because the bottom section, I went ahead and dumped the pon out, and there was a lot more nodes, but I just cut it into 3 places. The stem was kind of dark, so it was hard to really see where that bud was. So yeah, I think I have a total of 31. And then I washed the same pot out. I'm just gonna reuse this. Oh, here. And the pon, the base, honestly, it didn't really look that rotted, but I'm gonna like rinse that pon or like boil it or whatever. So this is all the rinsed pon that I have left. So I think it'll be enough to pop the top piece back up. I had it kind of drying in here. I've rinsed them really good, and then yeah, they have been drying. So I feel like they're good. I feel like the ends are dry enough to go ahead. So we're gonna go ahead and pot her into pon. I'm just gonna stick her right down in here, and hopefully she roots up just fine and doesn't shock on me. But like I said, if the leaves yellow off, I'll just, you know, cut up the rest of the wet sticks, because like I said, I have my other one. So add some pon down in here. This might be kind of close. I might have to get some of the dirty pon. I'm gonna put it right down in here. I'm not gonna use any kind of support, I don't think, right now, until I get a sense of how this plant is going to react. Okay. All right, and then I'm just gonna fill up around. Oh, I don't have enough. I think it'll be enough right now. I have to make a new batch of pon, so I think when I make pon, I'll just rinse all the dirty pon that I have and I'll just add to it. I have 1 node under the pon, but I need to add like another good inch layer, so I'll do that. I'll do that later. And for the propagations, I'm just going to lay them all in here. I just stick them down over top. I don't really pay attention to where the auxiliary bud is. I just press them down in here. They'll grow regardless. Most of these should do well. Like I said, I do have experience with pink princess rotting more often. It'll be cool to see these grow. Okay, I'm gonna have to squeeze some more in here. Some of these smaller ones. And 1 more, I'll do that one down there. Our tray of pink princess. And I'm gonna leave this covered 100%, so both of those are closed. And then I'll set these on the shelf in there under our grow light, and these will work on growing. So this is much better than having 30, like I said, 30 individual propagation cups and having to water all those, and the leaves can attract pests. So this is what I prefer when I propagate now. For the shop, like growing out plants, sometimes I'll keep the original leaf. It honestly just depends, but because this is a huge amount of propagations and I have experience with this plant and the original leaves yellowing off. I just would rather go ahead and do it this way. So to add water in this pink princess, so I'll do that really quick, and yeah, I'll rinse pond. I probably won't do this till tomorrow, honestly. I'll probably go out there and do that. And then yeah, let's go ahead and do the Maranta next. I was trying to think how to do the Maranta. Let me show you the Maranta. They have been enclosed in here since I like took some top cuttings. So I have my variegated Savannah. I have a second one. I have my light veins. I have my black Maranta, and then a silver band, and I do have a second silver band as well. But they have been in a cup of water in here, and the water level is low. I haven't opened this at all. I haven't done anything. And I have some crispy leaves. I've peeked in here, like I can glance, and I haven't seen any more mealies, but what I'm gonna do is take these to my sink and like hose the leaves off and stuff really good again. And then what I was thinking, so these I'm gonna put in the bedroom where the other like Maranta calathea are, but I was actually thinking about doing a combo pot. So I have this long white planter that my Monstera Thai constellation was sitting in here. I had both of them sitting in there, and my original intention was to pot them both up together. And the reason why I bought a long planter, because both of my Thais wanted to crawl instead of climb. But I put the one Thai outside and I have it staked up. And so the other Thai that I need to repot, I think I'm gonna try and stake it up somehow and just pot it separately. So I think I'm just going to keep those as separate plants. And so now I have this big long white rectangular planter. But I was thinking in my head, what would look good is if I plant these 4 Maranta in there like side by side as like a combo Maranta pot. I feel like that would look really good. I do have some Maranta in my bathroom too, like the second silver band, and then I have the second variegated. And then I have 2 lemon limes, and then a huge red Maranta, and then another Savannah. So I could add that silver band into here with the silver band, and I was like, I could add that variegated in here with the variegated. That way it's 2 less plant pots to have to water, and that way they're all together. Do you know what I mean? So I might do that because I had repotted those maybe like 6 months or so ago, and some of them are root bound again. But I don't really have soil to plant them in. All that I have is tree fern and then my aeroid mix. I have potted Maranta into my aeroid mix and it's fine. It's just very aerated, so they dry out fast. I could just use like a bunch of tree fern, pot them in that, and then add a little bit of my aeroid mix just to make it a little bit more chunky and not just straight tree fern. And then the only other soil that I have is my cactus mix. I have a little bag of that, which might be fine, because I was just thinking the white pot, rectangular pot, is huge, so I'm gonna need like a pretty big bag of soil. So I don't know what to do now. I don't want to waste a ton of tree fern because that stuff's expensive. I'm wondering if I should run out and get a bag of soil. I just don't want the fungus gnats. Maranta do like, I feel like peat-based soil, because I was using Fox Farm before I switched to like an aeroid mix. And I have some Maranta in the Fox Farm and they seem to really like it. Like my red Maranta is huge. They sell Fox Farm at my local Ace, but I was just there yesterday. I don't really want to make another trip out to get soil. Okay, I am back and I'm here at the sink. And I have the Maranta, so I'm going to rinse these really good and just inspect and make sure there's no mealies. I did run out to Ace to get the Fox Farm Ocean Forest. It's so weird buying a bag of that soil because I used to use it so much. It brings back memories, I guess, to those days. But yeah, let's go ahead and rinse these. Look how much they've rooted. That's crazy. This instantly makes me think back of the ants and the mealies. Oh my gosh, that was a nightmare. I love the light veins. I can't wait to get it growing again. It's so pretty. I think most of this is new growth, so I think we're in the clear. Oh wow, I had a lot of the light veins. I think this is the silver band, or actually that might be the black Maranta. Oh, I hope that's not the only one. I really wish I took care of these sooner. Okay, yeah, that's the black. This is the silver band. Okay, another black Maranta. I think that's a black Maranta. It's hard to tell. This is the variegated. Okay, another light veins. I think these are black Maranta. That's not that rooted either. Okay, and then this here, oh, is all trash. We have a lot of light veins. We have a few variegated pieces. And then I think I have a few silver band, but I think a lot of this, it's hard to tell until they grow, but I think most of this is the black Maranta. And then I think I will add a few of the Maranta in the bathroom to this. Okay, I'm kind of in between the hall here and my plant room. So this is how big it is. Yeah, it's a big pot. And here's the bag of Fox Farm. And then I brought the two Marantas I had, well, two of them that were in the bathroom. I have this other variegated one. This one was gifted and the variegation is different than mine. So I actually might take a cutting and like water prop this just to have as like an extra Maranta. But I think adding it in here with the other one, just to save on space, I think I'll do that. Here's my silver band. This is the one that I found at the big box store. This one was in my bathroom as well. I have some dead leaves, so I'll have to clean this up. These guys probably need an upsize, like all the ones in my bathroom again, because they've been drying out a lot faster, even within a week, because I water these once a week. And I used to get away with almost every 2 weeks, but I feel like I can't even go a full like 5 or 6 days and they're thirsty again. And so I do have some of the black Maranta. It's really hard to tell the difference in the leaves right now. But once the black Maranta starts growing, you'll be able to tell the difference. So I'll probably do the black Maranta on one side, the silver band, and then maybe like the variegated next to the black. No, I'll do the light veins next to the black and then the variegated next to the silver band, if that makes sense. So I hope this isn't too much to put in here. But I'm probably going to add, I might fill like half of this with soil. I feel like that'll be a good amount. And this is the front. There's like a little name of this planter on that side right there. I don't know if you can see it right here. So the back is this way. I didn't even know they sold this Fox Farm at my local Ace until I was out there one day. I just don't want it to attract gnats, so I might put some sticky traps in here too, just in case. And then I'm not going to aerate it or add anything to it because I feel like it's pretty good. And Maranta, you know, they do like their water. The soil was sitting outside in the parking lot area, so it's warm. It's hot. If I was potting aeroids into this, I would definitely add some bark at least to it. I feel like, I don't remember it being in this area. I feel like it looks pretty good. I don't know if they've changed it. It's been a couple years since I've used this. I don't see any gnats or anything. And this soil has some nutrients and stuff, so I'll probably just water through with some regular water, and then the next time that I need to water this, I'll add my nutrients. Because these guys that have been in water haven't gotten anything. I haven't even made a dent in here. We're getting there. So this silver band here, let me cut some of these dead leaves away. Where'd they go? It's two. And here's some more here. Ooh, this is gonna look so good. And then I think for the silver band props, which are here, there's not that many silver band. I don't think I kept that many because I knew I had a silver band pot already, and you know, a lot of these were infested with mealies. So I'm just gonna add the props kind of like down in here. And kind of shove the soil up around them. And I'll have to backfill on all this over here too. Geez, I made a dent in this bag. I heard a car door. I was like, is someone dropping something off? I'm expecting a couple shop delivery stuff. Yeah, let's do the variegated. So we'll go ahead and do this guy. Let's see. This one's been drying out a lot too, so I know it'll appreciate not drying out so much. A couple dead leaves, and then I do want to take a cutting. Maybe I could take a cutting and stick it on my new shelf and like a water prop. I might do that. Yeah, I'll stick this in a thing of water, a little propagation. Okay. Do this one next to this one. Yeah, this one needs to come up a little bit more. Ooh, a few variegated ones in here too. I'll cover these more once I get them all planted. And do right here. Kind of just group them, the props. Pluck them down in here. And then the black Maranta, I think this is all black Maranta. Okay, and this is going to go right here. Oh, that's gonna have to come up more. Oh. No. Okay. I still have to bring that up a little bit more. Gosh darn it. Okay, let me add that in at the end. Let me fix this over here because I feel like I'm adding soil, but I'm losing soil. I could have potted them up separately and then like stuck them all in here individually instead of like actually planting them in here. Ooh, okay. These guys are a little thirsty, like the leaves are curling. The ones that I took out of their pots that were in the bathroom. Yeah, we'll give this a little water. I'll get my watering can and kind of get in here and get where I actually planted them. But I don't want to do like a full deep water all the way through until they actually start rooting and stuff down there more. Oh, I like it. It's gonna look good when they grow and get like really full and trail down. It's gonna look so good. I used almost this entire bag. This is like the big bag too. That's crazy. Okay, here's a look at it from my angle. I have to wipe the pot down because I have dirty fingerprints on it. But let's go ahead and give a little drink. I'm here in our bedroom and I was wiping this little shelf here off. We've had this thing for so long. We've probably had this shelf for like 15 years. But the only thing that we've really had on it was like little knickknack stuff that I took off there. But I can't wait to redo this area. I just don't know. I don't know what to do here. All these guys need watered and they all need to be repotted. But I was trying to think where to put the Marantas because I don't want to put them on the floor right now. And I don't have a wide plant stand. So I was thinking about maybe just putting them on the shelf right here. I was just cleaning it off. And then I have a little outlet plug. I could do like a clip grow light and shine it on them just temporarily until they start growing a bit more. So yeah, I guess the floor it is for now. But while I have this uncovered, I think what I'll do is, yeah, since I have to do so much watering, I'm gonna look and see what kind of plants that are on that dining room shelf that I can maybe put here temporarily. And I think I'll just do a clip light like at the top and shine down on some of those plants because this is really, really low light in here. So this is what I'm talking about here. I need to make room for all this stuff to go somewhere. I was trying to think if there's anything I could put back into my plant room. I could put this in my plant room. This is a philodendron Gabby here. I think that would look cute on a shelf. I had potted this into here. This is actually like a glazed pot, so I'm trying to be careful with watering, but it's coming in very, very white. I wonder if I could put these in my plant room. I'd probably change up the planters maybe because I feel like these would look cute back in my plant room. Well, I've never had these in my plant room, but it's more warm and stuff in there, so I feel like they would like it. I just definitely have to figure out like a different pot situation. I really like this pot, but I don't think it works for this plant. I love this variegated Thanksgiving cactus. This is the variegated Christmas cactus. I don't know if I do this pot though, so I'd probably change that up. Since I took the begonia out of here and what else was in here? Oh, the Philopia multiflora. This cabinet is a total disaster now. The only plant that's in here that isn't a Hoya now is this pink mint capria. So actually that one can go in my plant room. I really need to clean this out too because I have to water all these today. And that acrobar and stuff is like really overgrown. I need to propagate some of these plants, these Hoya, so I could actually do this too while I water. I could just take some cuttings. Yeah, this is the one that's not very variegated, but I feel like I could put this in my plant room and that would take care of some plants. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll come back on a bit later and kind of show you what I did. I think I'm going to go ahead and get started in doing some watering and then clean out those cabinets a little bit, and I might propagate, but yeah, I need to kind of clean this area, water these guys, shower some of these off because it has been a bit. So I feel like that's going to take me like a couple hours, and I do want to edit this evening as well. But yeah, I'll pop on a bit later and kind of show you an overview of what I have for right now until we get those other areas done. And we'll kind of call it for this video. So yeah, I'll be back on here a little bit later. Hello, it is 9 o'clock at night. And this place is a hot mess, you guys. I've been working on rearranging and, you know, I was trying to water and stuff, but when I go to do something, I start a different project and then I start a different project and then I start doing other stuff. And then before you know it, there's like 10 million different things going on. And the sole purpose was to just water. I started propagating my Hoyas. I cleaned my Rudsta, my acrobar. I trellised some Hoyas. I sprayed all the Hoyas over here in the window with horticultural oil. I have been moving plants off this shelf into the bedroom. There are plant pots everywhere. I'm still not done watering. I actually am heading back to the bedroom to water because it is getting kind of late. I just want to get the bedroom area cleaned up and get this kitchen area cleaned up, and I'll probably finish tidying up a little bit in the morning, and then I am gonna get to editing. But let me give you a little glimpse of what I have going on and just excuse the chaos. This is kind of where I've been spending most of my time. So I still have a lot of plants on this shelf that aren't anthurium. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. I moved quite a bit away. I have 2 marble queens, the begonia, and then I have a ZZ plant, Thanksgiving cactus, a string of hearts, and a few Hoya. And you know, this is going to be entirely anthurium. And then once I get my Hoya shelf, I'm going to move all these Hoya out of the window. I was spraying all these down with horticultural oil because it's been a good bit, and then these guys will get mealies if I leave them in the window. And some of them were just way overgrown, you guys. They look 10 times better. I was like washing cash pots out. I took every plant to the sink and sprayed it off with horticultural oil. Like this kitchen area, you guys, is a hot mess. I've been spraying plants off in the sink, but I have all this here that I have propped, and I still have to take care of these tonight. I'm gonna have to set these all up in perlite, but I have so many Hoyas in here, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna spray these off again. I had sprayed them off once, but then I added some more Hoya to it because I had propagated a couple others. So yeah, I'm gonna spray these off again, and I'm gonna have to take care of these tonight. I had a couple bins, like this chair was over here, and a couple bins. I was able to move them a little bit, so I had moved them to here since I cleared out some plants. So at least I have like nothing on the floor over here anymore because it was getting a little crowded. And then I've had these anthurium bins propped open for probably a good week and a half now. So they're getting used to room humidity, which is about 50, that says 51%, but in my plant room, it's like reading, I think 43% or something. It's not as humid today. So I gave everyone a quick little drink over here. I had taken the anthurium to the sink last time and hosed them off, so I didn't do that this time. I just quickly watered them. It is just a hot mess over here. I spilled a soil. I have to vacuum that up over here. But yeah, I was like cleaning out the rudsta. I have all these like plant pots in places to clean up. But this rudsta looks so different. I had chopped so many of these Hoyas back because they were just so overgrown. And the acrobar. The riser I'm probably going to use on the shelf over there with some small anthurium. I think that's what I'm going to use it for. Because now that I have these Hoyas trellis, there's no room for the riser. Like I can't fit them in there with it. But at least they're trellised and taken care of. And you know, this is all clean and wiped out and taken care of. I had sprayed all these Hoyas down. It was just overdue. I was overdue for a good Hoya trim and wipe down and everything. So honestly, I'm kind of glad I took care of that tonight, even though it's chaos everywhere else. Like it's just chaos, you guys. There's plant stuff everywhere. And I don't like it being like this. Like I like things neat and clean and tidy, but I'm gonna have to move a lot of this stuff, you know, until the morning. The little Maranta propagation I need to stick in water. One of my plant pot replacement came, I dug into that. It's a strawberry planter. Let me show you because it's so cute. I haven't touched up my paint yet. I'll probably do that tomorrow. But I ended up moving the begonia white ice here with the strawberry planter. Look how freaking cute that is. So this is in perlite. I took a big propagation, and then I have several smaller pieces of this plant that I'm propagating. But once this roots up, I'm thinking I might try this begonia out in semi-hydro, but I'm just gonna put it here for right now because I think it looks really cute on this shelf. So I added that, and then I had this like little wood piece I added here too, just to give a little bit more dimension. But yeah, this whole thing looks so good still. I am in love. And then I added a couple plants in here. I added this capria that was in the rudsta. And then I added these guys here. This was the Gabby, and I added the variegated Thanksgiving cactus and then the variegated Christmas cactus. I actually think those look really cute in here, and these were all on the shelf in the dining room. The pink princess, I just sat here on the floor. This was the top cut that we propagated earlier. So I'm gonna leave that there for right now, but I'll have to find a spot for it. I mean, I pretty much got to everything on my list. We chopped that, and then this is what I've been working on the last several hours here. So I feel like I'm pretty happy because the Hoyas wasn't even on my list and I took care of those. So You know, I still have to pot up all the props, but I did a lot more than I had anticipated. Okay, and then hi Lune, I'm still working in here. I haven't done anything besides add a couple plants to the shelf. Now this isn't a permanent thing, this is just temporary, but this Hoya obovata I'm gonna propagate. I've had this Hoya for a really long time. It's one of my older Hoyas. It was on a plant stand, but I'm just gonna leave it right there for right now. And then I added some of my like common trailing plants on this little thing. But I have to water these really quick. I think what I'm gonna do is I have some browning leaves on that Maranta. I really need to take these guys to the shower and hose them off, but it's so late. I don't really have time to do that tonight. So maybe I'll just do that next week. I think what I'll do is just quickly water them. And then this Orbifolia, I actually might move that one like right here and then put this new Maranta basket against the wall until I can find some kind of shelf for it. But I really love how it turned out, you guys. It looks so good. Yeah, so that is my chaotic plant chores. The last couple of days, I have been nonstop, you guys, non-stop, and I still have so much to do. I just need to and I'm not even having a restock this week, and tomorrow is Thursday. I couldn't imagine trying to do all this and then getting plants ready for a restock. So I'm glad I'm not having one this week because, yeah, it's just so much work. Like plant care itself is one thing and maintaining my collection. I have downsized, so it does feel better. And then, you know, I've been rearranging a little bit, so I feel like that's extra work that I normally don't have. And so I feel like once I get this dining area rearranged and get all the anthurium good, get all the Hoya good in one spot, get the bedroom good and those plants repotted, I think I'll start to feel like so much better, and then I can just focus on going around to my collection, styling here and there, propagating if they need to be propagated. I can cut plants back, downsize a little bit more, and maybe eventually I'll bring like a few new plants into my collection that I feel like I only want to bring plants into my collection that I want to grow out to hopefully sell. I don't know if I would bring too many plants in that would be like a personal plant unless it's just something that I really, really want. So my intention is to kind of get rid or downsize some of those plants that I'm not selling that are common, like some of the pothos, because I do have multiples of some of those still, like my marble queen, and just some other common plants that if I'm not really loving, I could think about downsizing some of those still. And then I think later this year, I'll focus on trying to figure out what kind of plants people are more interested in that I could possibly bring in, and that way I can grow them out and sell them. I really want to sell plants that people would want to purchase and are going to continue to purchase. So it's just some things that I've been thinking about lately as I've like gone through my collection and everything. I just kind of want to focus on just selling plants that people want to buy, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and get finished cleaning and watering a little bit so I can kind of pop in the shower and do some editing later tonight. I'm hoping I can get the rest of this done, or at least contained in the next hour. Thank you so much for coming along with me on these crazy 2 days of plant chores. I got so much done and I feel so much better, but I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I have a lot of fun stuff coming up with the rearranging and styling, and yeah, I have a lot of repotting to do, and I'll do more plant chores probably next month. But yeah, thank you again so much for watching and for being here, and I will talk to you again soon.